You're listening to the Casual Swinger podcast. As your hosts, we need to warn you that the material you're about to hear may be sexual or explicit in nature. This podcast is intended for an adult audience. Now, we don't expect you to act like adults. What's the fun in that?
We're a married couple living in Florida with over 13 years of experience in the lifestyle, and we take almost nothing seriously. Casual Swinger is a variety show, meaning we'll cover everything from music to events, travel, and even the occasional hilarious screw-up. Our show is about entertainment. We're not licensed professionals.
At anything.
And our stories, commentary, and guidance should not be confused with the opinions of a licensed professional.
Now that you know, let's take those pants off and get comfy. Welcome back to Casual Swinger. I am Mallory.
Once again, I am Mickey.
Hi, Mickey. I missed you.
Oh, yeah, right. That's like we haven't done this in a while. Like 3 times in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
We had some technical snafus over here and things crashed, so that was not awesome.
No, we're getting our sea legs back.
Yeah, well, we are on that like once a month rotation right now, just with the holidays and stuff. It's been kind of crazy, but these guys are going to be happy. If you like Casual Swinger, there's going to be a lot of new shows coming out in the next couple weeks.
Woo! I'm excited.
I mean, we already recorded them. We might as well release them.
Yeah, we've been sitting on some content here.
Yeah, I think it's good stuff, though. I think it's going to be a good time. But today is the 14th episode of Season 3, and it is Slut Actualization.
I'm so excited for this one and a little nervous.
It's all about you, so you should
A little bit. I think we're going to get into the dark, freaky corners of my mind.
Yeah, so if you guys have been waiting for a episode about sex from us, this is probably it. But why don't you tell everybody what Slut Actualization actually is?
So we've been having some conversations, and I've been digging into some fantasies, and I've decided I want to do a porn. Which
Sweet.
I know it's so not out of character for me, but it's definitely different.
Are we gonna make money?
And well, I don't think it's gonna be what everyone else deems as porn. I don't even know, but we'll get into the details. But I'm interested in this. Could be executable for us. Like it could actually happen.
Okay, well, we're going to get into Mallory's journey of slut actualization here in a few. But before we do that, let's talk about kind of, why haven't we recorded, what's been going on, and then we have a breaking news item we need to get into as well.
Okay, yeah.
But, at least from my perspective, I know we've been kind of slow.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like we've let some of our listeners down, but it's been hard.
I feel like when you get on and you just talk just to talk, you're kind of doing them a disservice as well. And with parties being frowned upon, I mean, we had our friend's party in LA that got busted.
Yep. Riot gear, the whole nine. Everyone was given citations. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 100 people at a party and 90 cops show up in riot gear, and everybody in the party's wearing masks. And they're like, oh, well, you're all still arrested anyway.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. What happened with that one in Brazil you were telling me about?
Oh, the one where the cop they mistook him for a stripper? Yeah, so that happened.
That would be me. I'd be the dumbass at the party asking where his boombox is and letting him know I have a lot of ones, so get to it.
Yeah, get to it, big boy. Whip out that nightstick. But, yeah, I mean... I think it's just kind of been a bad time to talk just to talk. And I mean, people are starting to get their sexy back. We're looking on Twitter and whatnot and seeing a lot more people starting to feel sexy. And then, I guess the other thing, which is a fairly recent development, is all the stuff going on politically right now. Some people social media is really polarizing. So people are kind of pulling back from that a little bit and going, I don't even want to look.
Yeah,
it's a shit show.
That's fair.
So I just think that's all been good reasons to just kind of take a chill pill. We haven't really been doing much, and, that's where some of these fantasies come from, these conversations come from, is saying, hey, we're locked in a box. What can we do with each other while we're in a box? What would be cool?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the genesis or for the idea for this episode came from. So I kind of think people are going to like it. We had our February trip for the Rascals coming up, and then some big news came out.
That's true. So there's been some chatter and information going around about the CDC guidelines where they released the 15th, 13th of this month.
Yeah, so January 13th, January 14th, the new guidelines came out. And, we're recording now on the 18th of January, and nothing's really changed. It's all, and we're going to put it in the show notes for you. There's a fairly significant document, so there's a lot to it.
And it has to do, now correct me if I'm wrong, with international travel. And the biggest change is that are coming back into or traveling into the United States.
Well, yeah. So it's always been the case, and just speaking specifically about Jamaica, because that's kind of our jam. You always had to have a PCR test within 10 days to get into Jamaica, but now you need a test within 3 days to get out.
Okay, so you have to test negative.
Yes.
Okay, before you come back to the United States.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's crazy.
I can imagine a lot of these resorts and places are trying to pivot as fast as humanly possible, right, in order to provide or at least give access or information to guests that are planning to return back to the United States.
Yeah, pretty much all the major resorts in Jamaica, so Sandals, Royalton, Hedonism, have all come out and said that they're going to give the tests for free since rapid tests are okay.
Yeah, and this is going to be presented to the airlines,
yes,
correct?
Right
Okay.
at the gate. So you have to show them your test. It has to be within 3 days, and it has to be negative. If it's not negative, then you have to quarantine for 14 days on the island.
Yeah, and you can't leave until you test negative.
Yeah, so it's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of that gray area, right? Because, everyone's still gathering more information. So, like, if I do test positive, where am I quarantined and what is it going to cost me? And what if I get worse?
Yeah, and we don't actually have an answer on that right now because the resort came out with a statement, and in the statement they said that accommodations will be provided, but they didn't say they'll be provided for free. So Desire went one step further and actually said how much those accommodations are going to cost. It's $125 per person per night, so $250 a night for 2 weeks if you get stuck at Desire.
Ouch.
Yeah, kind of owie.
Yeah.
Right? So, but Hedo hasn't said anything yet. The way that they worded it, it certainly looks like it's going to be at no cost, but we're still trying to get confirmation from the resort on that.
I wouldn't put all my money on that.
I wouldn't either.
It's hard to say, right? Because it's not in writing.
Well, and it's easy to say if it's one person or two people, right, or one couple or two couples. It's a lot harder to say if 30 couples get it at the same time. Then all of a sudden the resort is closed for 2 weeks and providing services for free.
Yeah.
And that I don't know. I don't know how feasible that is, which is why we're trying to get confirmation.
Yeah, and you had mentioned that there was an exemption in that write-up.
Oh, yeah. So I completely forgot about that. So the exemption basically is if you have had COVID and you've recovered from COVID in the last 60 days and you have a letter from your doctor on their letterhead that says that you're good to go. That'll get you back into the country.
Okay, so that's good for re-entry. So say you're a U.S. citizen, you leave, and you have this letter, and you can come back. So it exempts you from testing.
Yeah, well, for the return trip, but not for your trip to Jamaica. You still need your test to get into Jamaica.
Okay, I got it now. So you still need your negative test to get in, which is the PCR. To get out, that letter on the official letterhead from, a physician.
Yes, it's got to be from your doctor, and it's got to be a legit doctor. It can't be Dr. Kevorkian. And,
my God, I haven't heard that name in forever.
Right? Yeah, I just made myself look old.
I was going to say.
So it's got to be a legit doctor, legit letterhead. And interestingly enough, immunizations don't count.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we're starting to see the vaccine roll out, and we know people that, have gotten it, and it's really not going to give them, as far as we know right now.
Oh, no. I mean, they can pretty much believe at least that they're not going to get stuck, right? If they have the immunization, at least they know they're going to go down there and they're not going to test positive and get stuck unless they get a false negative, because rapids are notorious for false negatives and false positives. Rapids are wrong like 60% of the time. So that would make me concerned regardless of whether I had a
That's fair. That's fair. So that leads us to the next bit with all this new developing guidelines. What are we doing in February?
We're not going, which I hate to tell, our friends with the Rascals and our friends at the resort. The fact of the matter is we can't afford to get stuck in Jamaica for 2 weeks. We've got kids or kid.
Yeah.
He takes good care of us. He
really
nice
does. I was
going
to say he's probably the most responsible human in this house, but at the same time, it's just, we can't do that. And with our jobs too, a lot has changed in our vanilla day-to-day lives, and that's also evolving, and it's just a huge risk right now. And as much as I want to be there in my favorite place on earth, it doesn't make sense.
No, it really doesn't.
Can't.
It's too much of a risk right now to get stuck and not be able to get back here. It's even working from home. So we're out, which means November is the next trip up. If you guys are interested in traveling with us, make sure you go to our website at www.casualswinger.com and go to Travel With Us. You can fill out your information right there, and we will get back to you with information on the trip, including a link where you can book your very own trip to come with us and our friends, Rachal's Rascals, to Hedonism II in Jamaica.
And I do love the February trip. I think it's going to be the biggest one on record.
November, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said February.
I did?
That's okay.
More coffee, please.
More coffee. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the plan. We're going to be there in November. Make sure you come out with us. I think that trip's going to be balls to the wall. Crazy. Probably 150, 200 rooms, somewhere
Damn.
there. Yeah, it's going to be nuts.
All right, we're going to blow the roof off that place.
Yeah, it's going to be a good party. But
I
hey,
can't wait.
Enough with the bummer shit. Let's talk about what's great.
So many great things.
Right.
So I started to tell you this, so I'll just rewind and say it again. I am so fucking impressed and proud of all the work you've done with garnering new relationships for really exceptional products that we're carrying now. You've been busting your ass.
It's been a bunch.
super, super proud. But what you've curated though is just amazing. Can we kind of run through like some of the changes that have been made,
Yeah,
to the website and the products? And
anybody that hasn't been on Casual Toys lately, we've definitely made some changes. We've made some changes to the site, how it functions. We have a new feature coming that you won't see just yet, but I'm almost done with it, which is a sort and search filter.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, you bring up, lingerie, and I've got 9,000 items on there. Well, now you can sort by color, sort by size, sort by type, and really just kind of isolate that down, very much like Amazon.
Yeah, user-friendly. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, and that has been a lot of work to build, but I'm really liking how that's coming out. And it'll be an evolving thing, too.
I am. And we've also been talking a lot about the unique condoms.
Yeah.
I know it's like shameless self-promotion here, but we're getting amazing feedback.
Yes.
From people that are buying them.
Yeah, actually, the feedback from everybody that's been buying these condoms is where they've been all my life. It changed the lifestyle for me. This is the best condom I've ever seen. I've only had 2 people say they hate it. Jay from Average Swingers was one of them. And the only reason they hate it is because they felt like it wasn't there. They felt like it broke or it fell off.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, my God, there's no condom. Because it felt so good, they couldn't believe that there was a condom there.
Yeah, it's a game changer for sure.
So Dave from Double Date Nation said these are the condoms of the lifestyle.
Ooh, I like that.
And I was
like, they should be.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
For me on the other side now, granted, the dude's the one wearing the condom, but I'm very hyper aware of latex, the smell, the texture, and it felt way better for me.
Yeah, and you can use any lube with them. You can use coconut oil. You can use whatever you want. It won't break them down.
Exactly.
So they're fucking awesome. I don't know how to put it. I know they're expensive. I've had a couple of people come back and go, yeah, they're a lot more expensive than skin. Yes, they are, but they are a lot better. A few people that were skin lifers have thrown away their skins and have bought these. So I'm pretty excited about them. Another one I'm really excited about, and this one is not for nothing, is Motorbunny.
Ooh, so Motorbunny, if you guys don't know what that is, it's a rideable toy.
Mm-hmm.
I have one. I absolutely love mine. And we were able to establish a relationship with those guys, and now we're their only e-commerce.
Yeah, we're the only guys without a brick and mortar in the United States.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Have a relationship with Motorbunny. So really exciting. We carry the Motorbunny Link, which is the Bluetooth-enabled ride-on toy. We do not carry the Buck. That's not available in the channel. So if you want the Buck, which is the thrusting version of the Motorbunny, means it'll fuck your brains out while you're riding it. Yeah. That one you got to get direct from Motorbunny.
Yeah, but this
carry
one,
the attachments.
And this one still has the different rods for the spinner function, for the insertable. It has the what are they called? The levels where you riser. Thank you. Where you can adjust them for your body type so that they touch or at least can make contact with your pelvis, because everyone's shaped a little differently.
Yeah,
like where your clit is.
And it comes with 4 attachments, which are great, but they're TPE. TPE is a thermoplastic elastomer, whatever. I don't know. What it is a type of plastic that is a little less expensive than Body Safe Premium Silicone, but it's porous. So I usually tell people, if you're going to share your Motorbunny at any time with anybody else, make sure you get the pink premium silicone attachments, because those are non-porous. You can throw them in the dishwasher and they're good to go.
Ah, good info. And I also like it because it's got tie downs.
Yes, it does have tie downs on it. We can tie your ass to it and you can't get off. Well, you can get off, but you can't get off. So the Motorbunny is absolutely awesome. We carry those. You can check it out on our website. It's right there on the front. You can see that's when casual means business, right on the front of casualtoys.com. And, certainly no slouch, and something else that's huge for us and has been huge for the last few months, our first direct relationship, which I was really thrilled about, was Liberator Bedroom Adventure Gear.
You know how much I love that.
Yeah, I mean, Liberator, and people, I think when we talk about Liberator, they think it's just like wedges and shapes and pillows.
No,
and they have so much shit.
They do. They have the wet blankets. I forget the name of it.
Fascinator.
The Fascinator, yeah. So Yeah.
It's so much better than a usual wet blanket for squirters too, by the way, because the wet blankets for squirters, they're heavy and they're plasticky. They feel that way. The Fascinator feels like a regular plush throw blanket. Mm-hmm. And it's designed to absorb not just, squirters, but lube and whatever. Comes in travel sizes, queen size, king size.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And who would think that Liberator makes that?
Yeah, and it's easy to wash.
Yeah, and then of course they make
easy.
cuffs and the flip stage and all kinds of fun stuff, chairs. So make sure you check that out.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about the corsets.
Oh, yeah.
Now we have like 3,000 Daisy corsets, which I've been using Daisy corsets for years. Mm-hmm. Especially for like theme nights or even sometime when we're going on a sexy date back when we used to do that, and I'd pair it with like a cute pair of jeans and a leather jacket.
Well, and it's not just the corsets, right? We do have a buttload of corsets from Daisy, but we also added over 1,000 costumes.
Yeah.
So for people going for theme nights on to Desire or to Hedo, there's a lot of costumes there just waiting for you and swimwear.
I didn't know Daisy made swimwear. I don't know how I missed that memo, but I do have a few things in our cart.
Yeah, hundreds of bikinis.
I'm just warning you now.
So we've got all this stuff going on. That is kind of really where we've been spending our time lately, is trying to pimp casual toys out to make it easier for you and to give you more choices to make your lifestyle better.
Good job, honey.
I'm pretty happy about it. But enough of all the housekeeping. Let's talk slut actualization.
Ooh, are we just going to dive right into it?
No, we're going to come back in a minute. But I think when we come back to this, we're going to dig into exactly how it is you're going to be a porn star. And
okay. Oh, I'm so nervous. Like. I'm so nervous, but I'm excited. Okay, all right. We can do that.
You want to tell everybody how to find us? We'll be back in a hot second.
Yeah, so we're Casual Swinger everywhere, guys. CasualSwinger.com. If you want to reach out, it's podcast@CasualSwinger.com. You can find us on social media, which is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we're also on the dating sites. That's Double Date Nation, SLS, SDC, Cassidy, and Quipper.
Well, there we go, folks. We'll be back in a hot second. You've been listening to Casual Swinger. All right, everybody, welcome back to Casual Swinger. Still Mickey.
Hi, I'm still Mallory.
Excellent news. Mm-hmm. So, how does it feel to be a slut?
Oh, okay. I'm really nervous to share this. Actually, I love being a slut.
Yeah,
like it's some of the most fun in the world for me. And I mean, as of late, we haven't had really much of any opportunity to be slutty.
No, it's been pretty quiet.
Right. So I've been fantasizing, and we've had some conversation around it, just not in great depth on how I can tap into that part of myself with just you and I right now.
Yeah, and I've always asked you about your fantasies too, right? I mean, there's constantly been a conversation about that. It's one of the ways that we entered the lifestyle was talking about fantasy. And, one of the fantasies, apparently, you had mentioned to me early on that, you had some fantasies about, taking your love of sex and making it a job.
Yeah.
Whether it was dancing, because you're an amazing dancer. So like dancing, and then you said, you even thought about doing porn.
I did. Probably way younger than I should have, but it was something like, did you ever like stop and visualize yourself in that situation and what that would be like? When I would do that, I was like, oh yeah, I could. Yeah, that would totally make me happy. I could totally see myself doing it. Huh. And I remember verbalizing it to one of my girlfriends. They're like, what is wrong with you? I was like, what? It looks like a great time.
Yeah, I mean, what was the allure for you? Why did you think that would be a good idea?
So I think it speaks to a few things. So there's my, exhibitionist side, right? I love putting on a show, especially for you. Mm-hmm. That feeds something for me. And, you have maybe a little bit of a voyeur thing. We kind of have the Hotwife thing going on. Mm-hmm. So I think in a lot of ways, it kind of takes all of our kinks and what we like in the lifestyle and puts them in another situation where we could leverage those kinks.
Huh. I think it's a pretty cool idea. I mean,
yeah,
on its face.
So lately I've been thinking about it and I'm like, wow, I think I really want to do this, mm-hmm. right? And is this actually executable? So you did some digging.
I did. And
it sounds like there is an opportunity that I could actually have a professionally produced porn done. Like it could be a thing.
Yeah. Turns out it's a possibility. I mean, the idea, at least from my perspective, was, how many hotwife couples are out there, and stag vixen, even cut couples, where the guy, his fantasy, his porn star is his wife, and wouldn't it be amazing to have a legitimate porn that starred her, so well produced,
right.
scened, the whole shebang, but then. Ideally, she's not doing this, and then next thing you know, your father's watching it on
right,
on,
exactly,
Pornhub.
Exactly.
It's your video, you own it.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of getting hair and makeup done and having like the right lighting and the right outfit and the right set and the right partner or partners to be able to do this. We've talked about like the fly in the wall, sexual encounter and home video, which is great. But I think this would really take it up a few notches for me. So, and I want to make a few things perfectly clear. This is not for public consumption. Like it's not being put out there into the world. This is for private use, so just for us. So, and like I said, I think we have this relationship dynamic where it would serve us really well. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would be super nervous, but I think it's one of those things I've thought about so much. I can pull the ripcord and jump out of the plane. Like I can actually do this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
and why the hell not? I'm not going to be as young as I am today, tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
so if this
true.
is something I really want to do, I need to push myself to find a way to get it done. Because why the fuck not?
I certainly agree. Obviously as, a voyeur, I think that would be really like the coolest Christmas present ever.
Yeah? Yeah, so you would get off on that?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah? Okay, that makes me feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah, that would be super cool. Now, I'm curious how this thought came to be.
Well, I mean, it's because from my end, we've talked about, the little, Hotwife video and the fly on the wall. So that's part of it. Tapping into some of my previous fantasies, that's part of it. And also, I mean, it's something to encourage, the deep sexual desires I still have that kind of feel a little repressed with everything going on in the world. I know that's the same old damn song that, everyone's saying and feeling. So I'm just trying to get creative in how to leverage that in a safe environment. Because I'm also a germaphobe.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
you're definitely a germaphobe.
So it's not like I can just go pick up anyone or any group of people and do this. That's not my ideal.
No, it probably needs to be, the whole testing pool and professional.
Yeah, curated. Yes.
Like a real experience.
Exactly. And I don't even know. Like, I guess there's platforms or companies that you bring your own dick or bring your own person.
Yeah, there's a few of those out there.
And then there's ones that are set up to kind of do the testing pool. Yeah. So where you can go in and look at, headshots and descriptions and have conversations with people before you get on set to work with them.
Yeah. I mean, you're basically hiring an actor.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be cheap, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think it's a really compelling idea and a concept that if it were a real thing, I think it would be busy. I think so too. And I think the
demographic, like the target clientele are going to be people like me. I don't see them opening this up to men because they just want to use it to fuck a porn star.
That's just a prostitution ring. No, this is totally different.
I'm sure there's a lot of triage of, are you the right client to do this?
Yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward. Now, yeah. I mean, is it still shooting a porn if no one ever gets to see it?
That's a great question. I don't know. Because in my head, it's built out just like a really nice porn set would be. I'm thinking like real production here. And I'm not trying to degrade any other porn out there, but we do see a lot. Like if I were to go to, YouPorn or X Hamster and you see the professional ones, some of them are, someone's studio in their basement.
Yeah.
And then there's the ones you can tell this is like a legit set.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm thinking that's more of the avenue I want to take.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I mean, because if you think about, and also, I mean, I bet everyone listening to this right now has taken some pictures with their iPhone or some video with their iPhone of a blowjob or whatever.
Sure, it's great quality.
Yeah.
I just really want to up the ante. If I'm going to do it, I want to go balls to the wall. Yeah.
Literally.
So, I mean, in my head, yeah, it's still porn. It's just not, it's private. It's private, right?
Okay. Well, so let's talk about it. We're gonna dig in to Mallory's fucked up psyche.
Yes, we are. But I want to pose you one question.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Knowing what you know right now, if you could kind of set the scene or give me some parameters for what you think you'd like to see, do you have any suggestions or?
Ooh, definitely on the spot for that one. I guess for me, you obviously being the star of the show is the most important thing, which, that's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely would like to see you do MFM. I think that would be.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I think that because it's something you've never done. So your first time would be captured in great detail, which would be kind of hot. I think that would be pretty cool if I were like creating my own version of it.
All right. That's funny, and I'm glad you said that because I'm going to get into the details, but what I found myself is setting storylines.
Oh, yeah?
Like a fucking movie. Like it was so funny to look back at the first round of notes that I did because I was like, this isn't fucking Lifetime or Hallmark Channel. Like, I don't need all this background story.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
It was
you were writing like backgrounds on the characters?
Oh, here we go. Okay, so I have to flip to my other notes, but you are just going to lose your shit.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, so another one that I think would be cool, by the way, if we were going to do one, because I'm just spitballing now, is maybe like the MILF next door.
Oh.
Like that would be a fun one,
slutty
too.
neighbor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that would, it's maybe your partner is a little younger, and it's
that would fit into the MFM too.
Yeah, pool boy mowing the lawn, whatever, that kind of thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I think you're gonna be really good at this, and I think I need help, and here's why.
All right, let's hear your perverted storyline that you wrote for your porn.
All right, we're going to start with the one that's going to make you laugh the most. Okay, but this is a fantasy of mine, but this is where I went off the deep end and got way too worried about the details, and it's almost like sex didn't happen, which is kind of the whole point.
We had pizza.
So it's like a damsel in distress. That's a good way to describe it. So I have a thing with firefighters and cops and military, like first responders and civil servantry. So in my head, I was like, I used to fantasize about what if my apartment caught on fire or there was a fire somewhere. Not that I want to set the fire. I'm not that kind of person.
I can see the studio not liking this set already.
I know. They're like, yeah, fire bad. Fire really, really bad. But like this sexy firefighter in full fucking gear comes in to rescue me, right? So in my notes here, maybe I've just showered, so I'm already like wet and naked, and they're coming in to save me, but we get blockaded and like something collapses in the hallway after he, breaks into my apartment door, and then we're both stuck there. There's a gap in how we don't die during the fire.
Gonna need a little suspension of disbelief.
But, having this dialogue about, oh, no, I'm so cold, and he has to get naked, and then I'm hot, and then somehow we end up having sex. But the notes kind of go down like more of a sensual, like forbidden fruit, damsel in distress kind of sensual love. It was barely a softcore porn. So
and it's kind of fulfilling a last wish kind of thing. Right?
Yes. So
like if we're going to die here, what are we going to do?
My last note is talk to someone who could help me fuck a firefighter in a porno. Because that whole like dialogue didn't happen. Like in my head, it's hot, but I don't know how to build out the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So I scratched that one. I was like, all right, what else can we do? Let's make it a little easier. Mm-hmm. You had mentioned, the slutty neighbor. I went right to, I'm going to be an escort.
Oh, wow.
I would just go ahead and own it. And here's what I like about this one. There's a certain level of confidence you have to have as a sex worker, right? It also exudes that you have an immense amount of experience. Obviously, you're going to be very good at your job. And I kind of like that. I have no problem taking control or being the more dominant in the situation, but it's not my style on a normal basis. So I would love to put up a scenario where maybe, I have one date, or it's like a bachelor party situation, which I know you're looking at me like, we just talked about MFM. I'm like, why not up the ante one night? Why not 3 or 4?
Why not? That's gangbang territory.
Yeah. And it actually opened up my mind a little more, going, okay, what kind of scenarios? Am I the one that, makes them feel more comfortable? Are they nervous? Or do I just walk in there and literally take them all by, the shirts and throw them down and have my way with all of them?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
it's
I
just
think
totally out of my character in some ways.
It's really out of your character.
Yeah.
I mean, gangbang is way out of your character anyway.
Yes.
So that would definitely be fantasy territory for you.
Yes. Yeah. But I'm not going to lie. I'm getting a little tingly thinking all these like nice dicks just hanging out waiting for me. Like, But I had to go back and I watched a couple porns that had primary female with 3, 4, 5 guys. Mm-hmm. And the one thing I did notice is like player 4 or 5 sometimes we're like waiting in the background, like the old like ninja movies, like the
fight circles.
The fight circles where they're waiting in the background like for their turn. And I'm like, it seems awkward that they're not in there kicking ass too.
Yeah, right.
So like logistically, I still got to work that out, but I kind of like it. It's super obvious. It's not as creative, but it got my brain in the right mentality, I think, to dig a little deeper because I wasn't even in the previous one, my Lifetime movie. No point of view, no positions, I couldn't really dig into it. So I think it tapped into a more of a central emotional part of my brain, where this one is like super slut part of my brain.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely
they're very
straight up
polarizing.
raunchy.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I mean, I think it would be a lot of fun, and I think you'd probably very much enjoy it as long as you like the people.
Yeah. And the other side of that, I was thinking, there's different scenes depending on how the porn is, produced and formulated. There's usually more than one scene. So there's an opportunity to tie in other dialogue to do something, else that attaches to it. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Like, so the sex with the group happens and maybe, somebody's still hungry. I don't know how to tie it in, but I think that there's an opportunity there. Do you have any ideas around that one?
Well, actually,
I'm taking notes.
What might actually be a really neat kind of theme to the whole video itself is like maybe you went away for a weekend vacation from home.
Uh-huh.
And when you went away for your weekend vacation, this was your journey of your weekend, right? So like what, and then
like chapters,
yes,
with different events.
Exactly.
Oh, you're so good at this.
And then you come back at the end of the video is you like walking back into the house. Hi, honey, I'm home.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's just like a complete. Like, you were supposed to go do one thing, and this is what happened.
That's funny you said that, because the one thought I had after like the bachelor party or being a sex worker part of the conversation was, even though it'd be an actor, walking through the steps of what it's like to come back as a hot wife.
Oh yeah.
But with somebody else that's not you.
Oh, that would be super fun too.
Kind of a little bit of a mind fuck. I mean, is that little like Inception porn? A little bit?
A lot of it, actually. Okay. Yeah, it's like that's layered. That's really crazy. So basically, you'd be coming back as a hot wife, but you wouldn't be coming back to me.
Yeah.
That would be really crazy.
Yeah.
That's really hot.
Would you be interested in
watching
that?
That'd be awesome.
Okay, it's still a one-on-one. But again, my mind got to thinking about like the different positions. I love being on top. Mm-hmm. And there's something about the view you get when a girl's on top, but she's kind of lean forward, not laying like right on his chest, but just like that slow motion, and then the rabbit fucking from the bottom starts. And like I need to go masturbate now. Anyone wonders what I search for when I look at porn?
There you go.
That's a good one. That's
Mallory's
a winner for me.
Twisted bitch, folks.
So, and I did a couple standard ones. Like, I'm not like the teacher schoolgirl thing, but the professor. I've always had a thing or a fantasy about professors and like the silver foxes.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. And in my head, that's more of a, maybe a little more bondage and impact play. Like, I need a better grade or whatever. The storyline's a little irrelevant.
Does anyone care?
No, I don't think so. But I went right to being bent over like a mahogany desk. My pants are pulled down or my skirt's pulled up, and my hands are being bonded, and I've been bad, and so I need a few spankings.
Oh yeah, a little punishment play.
And a little denial. Yeah, that one got really twisted really fast.
Yeah, those are awesome though. I mean, and the funny thing is, I know before we recorded this, and by the way, guys, this is the first time I'm hearing any of this.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know.
Oh yeah, we didn't preface that. So I've been keeping this on under lock and key because I mean this is weeks in the making of these ideas.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to spoil them. I really wanted your honest opinion and honest reactions. Because like some of the stuff I wrote down is kind of ridiculous. Like I get shipwrecked like Gilligan and I end up on a deserted island with a tribe of like lesbians who just have their way with me. Don't think that's okay. It's not executable, but I was like, that sounds like fun.
Hooligans Island.
Yeah.
Right.
Hooligans.
Yeah.
Oregons? I don't know.
And yeah, so you said some of them were out there and probably not doable, and that's probably hard to do because it's a completely different set than the other sets that you were looking at.
It really is, and I think maybe I'm working it backwards. I'm looking at the storyline of situation where I did better when I framed it out and go, how many partners and what does that scenario look like to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of building it out from there and then putting the creative oomph on it, because maybe starting even with some of the POV, like what do I want to see on the screen sexually?
Mm-hmm.
Like how many positions can they eat my pussy in and how many positions can I suck dick in? And I mean, that sounds really raunchy and maybe a little degrading. I don't mean it that way, but I'm trying to figure out how to maximize and get the most benefit out of this because I really do want to move forward with it.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
And I think I've thought it was a great idea. I mean, I floated it to you like a year ago. Wouldn't this be neat if this existed?
Yeah.
And then it's gone downhill from there.
I've been thinking about it ever since. Like, what if it could? And how does that look?
Yeah. Well, and again, it looks like it's a real possibility at this point. So I think your building scripts is probably a good thing.
To a point. I need to stop with like the cerebral stuff and get my head out of there. You know, like, again, you don't want to watch the Lifetime movie version of my porn.
No, I don't think anybody's into the Lifetime
Definitely
version.
not.
You know, like, tell me about your feelings.
Yeah.
That's funny. The interesting thing, I guess, is from your perspective as a wife and a partner and a hot wife and all those things, how real is the possibility? Do you think you could just completely immerse yourself in that for a day? And I mean, is that something that turns you on to think about?
It does. I know myself, so there will be reservations and obviously nervousness. But thankfully, I have honed in an ability to kind of turn it on like it's game time, it's showtime.
Mm-hmm.
And I allow myself to be present. To me, 10 years ago, probably couldn't have done that.
Oh.
Couldn't have tapped it. I would have gotten way too lost in self-doubt and self-consciousness and hesitation, I think I can. But I don't know that I can do it with you on set. Like, here's the other thing I thought about. Would I be able to do this knowing you're not in the room? And would that be better? And I think, it'd actually be better because I don't want you to look behind the curtain.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do this. And for me, but part of the benefit is going to be watching you watch it for the first time or hearing about you watching it for the first time.
Mm.
But I don't know that I want you far away either. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to fly halfway across the country and be like, see you later. I'll let you know how it goes when I get back. I mean, because I think knowing that you're around or there would put me at ease.
Oh.
Because you're my person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're my whoopee.
Well, yeah. And I mean, ideally, depending on where these things go down, they're usually somewhere kind of fun, right? Vegas, California.
That's true.
South Florida.
Yeah. Make a whole weekend of it.
Why not?
Well, how great would it
Assuming
be?
you can sit down.
I was going to say, you may need to get me one of those little scooters with the donuts and be on standby with a couple of frozen bag of peas. I don't know.
Right. It depends on how well your weekend goes.
Yeah.
So a lot of video that we see, a lot of certainly porn that we see out there, always ends in, the girl on her knees and just getting cum all over her face.
A lot of them do, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know that's how I want to. I don't know.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's so my question is that does that turn you on to end your scenes that way? How would it turn you on to end your scenes?
Oh,
Or
I
what are the
mean,
different ways? Because I mean, we're talking about several scenes here. It sounds like.
in a perfect world, in which I don't think is going to be the situation here, it really depends on how it's set up.
Mhm.
You know, I'd love the cream pie, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my preferred.
Yeah.
I don't mind, the whole coming in the face, but I think, I don't know. I don't think that does anything for you either. Like, I don't mind it, and it'll probably be part of it because there's parts of me that enjoy it a little bit, but it's like the end of the night at Disney and you watch all the fireworks, right? Like,
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
like
that come
fireworks,
on.
but liquid.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know that's how I want it to end. Yeah.
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 That's I mean, I think I think
Yeah.
that kind of goes back to the whole thing. If you're shooting a legit video, it's not like lifestyle at that point. Lifestyle, it's safety first and all that stuff. And
Right.
but if you're shooting the legit video and you're choosing your partner very specifically
Yeah.
and testing and all that stuff, I mean, I suppose that makes that a lot more viable.
Yeah.
But I mean, and it's again a one-shot deal. Pardon the pun. But what are your if let's say that they came back and said you can shoot 2 scenes,
Mm-hmm.
what would your top 2 be?
Well, that's going to be hard because one, I think it needs to be executable. I actually like the MFM suggestion you had.
Yeah.
Because I kind of worked that in, which is how the sex worker lady of the night came to be, and it
Mhm.
started with 2, and I was like, fuck it, if I'm going to go for 2, I might as well do 4 or 5.
Why not? Yeah, right.
Let's go balls to the wall. It's probably going to cost me my retirement fund because it's a lot of actors, but why not? You only live once.
That's true.
I think I like the MFM, but no, I love my girls. So I would love to work having not just a primary girl on girl play. I want that to be part of the dynamic,
Mhm.
to be fucked and to fuck another girl, or at least have some interaction because I love my ladies, but maybe not have that be the primary role. I'd like to work that in just for my own personal benefit, but I wouldn't be unhappy if it's just me and another male actor or me, an MFM scenario.
Mhm.
Maybe there's a muse in there somewhere, the cute neighbor girl, watching and helping to facilitate and fluff. I don't know.
No kidding.
But I don't know how to eloquently add in chick play. I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's so. Any other if you're going through and you're picking, first of all, is there a size requirement? Are you going to go big? You going to go smaller? So
I'm Goldilocks all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too big, not too small, just right. Yeah.
Goldilocks porn.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to do the 3 bears and the Goldilocks thing. Is that going to be one of your scenes?
Well, and here's the other thing. I don't know if I want to include anal or not.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Is
because size will matter in that equation big time. I would love to do DP.
Yeah.
But I'll be perfectly honest, I haven't done it yet because I've been really scared.
Yeah.
I've been terrified to do DP, and it sounds like when I masturbate, I think about it. It sounds really good, but I get too nervous even if the opportunity arises and I want to execute. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I think's going to happen or why I stop myself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I need to talk to my therapist about that.
You have a therapist?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the dog, but no.
Honestly, none of that really sounds like it's not doable.
Yeah.
If you're doing MFM anyway,
Yeah.
you're probably going to end up doing DP.
I also kind of want two penises in my mouth at the same time. That sounds great. Just
You haven't done that either.
One time.
Did you?
Yeah. I think we were all pretty drunk. And I was like, "This is the best ever."
That's awesome. Good for you.
I mean, it probably didn't sound like that because obviously I had 2 dicks in my mouth.
Yeah.
But,
I'll check you out.
Mhm.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
I'm stunned. I think that it is a very doable thing.
Yeah.
And I think for Hotwife couples,
Mhm.
again, Stag Vixen cut couples, they're probably going to go crazy for it.
Yeah.
It's really legitimately a opportunity to create something that lasts a really long time. It's not just some, cheesy amateur video. And
That's true. Because my other concern was, okay, if we do this, privacy is a big thing with us.
Mhm.
Like I said, I don't want this to be out in the ether. I don't want my my family or my brothers or something to find this and be like, oh my God, that's my sister.
Yeah. She's awesome.
Yeah. Ugh. Willis. The whole privacy, like proof of destruction, like was that a thing? All these other questions came into play, and like you said, I think it is executable. It sounds like there's something developing in our area, even.
Yeah,
that we could potentially.
I think the hardest part for any of this is, where does your partner or partners for this come from? Because you see a lot of people. I mean, there was, I think, Kate and Daryl had somebody on in Australia whose whole thing was setting up gangbangs. Like, you actually paid the guy to go out and interview people and have them on site. And that's a service in Australia.
That's awesome.
It's awesome that somebody does that. But when it comes to this, the whole idea is, if you're a porn star for a month, you join the testing pool, you get tested regularly, weekly, and now you're in the testing pool after a certain period of time, and now you have, effectively, agents, actors to choose from. And the way, I guess the whole thing works is, you're not paying them to, have sex, you're paying them for the rights to the video.
Gotcha.
And they come and,
okay, then because the sex work laws and whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I get what you're saying.
Prostitution.
Because the other thing I was thinking about, I was like, okay, obviously there's an interview process that has to happen, because it's not like you just hire them and they show up on the set same day and like, all right, let's bang it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, for some people, it probably works out that way.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. But I kind of want them to be cool with me too. Like, I kind of want them to want to fuck me.
Yeah. Well,
does that make sense?
I don't think it'll be a problem. I know what you look like.
Like, we don't have to be best friends forever,
right.
But I kind of want them to want to.
Yeah, I don't think that's too much of an issue. And it really does seem like it's something that could actually happen. What do you think that something like that's worth financially?
What would I value or pay for it, or what do you think the market would
value or pay for it? I mean, I think that the companies that shoot it have an expectation of revenue, especially if they're doing a good job. And what that expectation of revenue is.
I don't know. Like, if I just had to spitball, I mean, it's not going to be cheap.
No,
it's definitely $5,000 to $7,000, maybe $5,000.
I'm thinking probably somewhere in the
depending
realm of
on how much goes into it, and then that could be totally undervalued for all I know.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on equipment and where the set is filmed and how many actors and everything else, and what do I need to bring to the table? Is it all inclusive, where like hair and makeup, outfits, lingerie, which probably won't be much, maybe, I don't know, or do I bring all that myself? I don't know.
We sell lingerie. That's not going to be a problem.
Excellent point.
That's awesome. So, Slut Actualization,
I'm getting there, and there's more to come. This is developing, so I'd be happy to come back, in a month or two and just do a little update on where we're at with this.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm fine with it. Yeah, I think it's really neat. I think it's a cool idea. I don't think it's for everybody.
No. No, definitely not for everybody. And again, I'm super nervous about sharing this because I don't know how people are going to take it.
It's a fantasy right now.
Is.
And I think that the only way that this sort of thing happens is with a certificate of destruction, that, the studio, whenever it's shot, once it's handed over to you, it's destroyed. It doesn't exist there anymore.
Agreed.
I think those kind of things are going to go a long way to giving people the security and the satisfaction of knowing that their personal and most private data. I mean, this is more private than your social security number. You don't want this getting out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's my butthole. Yeah. Legit.
So, but to know that you're able to make that leap and have that fantasy and then experience it, rock it, and then
I'm inside. I actually am really excited about it. Like, if this could happen, I want it to. And so, finding a way to put forth the money, if I was going to improve myself personally by going back to school, or hell, even getting a boob job, would I invest that much money in that? My answer is yes. So why would I devalue this fantasy or this desire any less?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get fucking flambasted for comparing making my own porn to going back to school. But
I don't think so. I think I think the sentiment is there.
Okay.
It's investing in yourself, investing in being able to tell yourself that this was a fantasy that you had since being a kid, and you found a way to experience it without sacrificing or compromising, your job, your life, your, everything.
Yeah.
It didn't, because, porn has a stigma, right? When it gets out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes it harder for these ladies to get a job and harder for them to be socially accepted in their communities.
Yeah. I think it's come a long way, but it's not there.
It has.
It's not. It's still taboo.
But the fantasy of being a porn star for a day, I bet there are a lot of women out there that haven't. I bet there's a lot of guys who would get off on it.
Oh my God. I just like thinking about it, like if they could make me look half as good.
Yeah.
With the lighting and the sets and the hair and, all of that stuff, and teaching me how to position myself. So, because I could use that down the road if I'm, hooking up with like a single dude.
Yeah.
And I remember, this angle looked really good based on the camera position, which is not something you want to, be in your mind the whole time you're having sex with them, but like to have a little bit of wherewithal to really get that good angle,
Yeah.
It's an investment long term as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because it's, kind of points you in that direction. And I mean, you probably learn a lot in the course of doing that about lighting, right? And what positions work.
I'm so naive to it, honestly.
Right?
Yeah.
That's really, really, really cool. Now, I guess one last question, and then we'll bounce out of here and come back. I think we've got some new toys to talk about here at the end.
Okay.
But do you think you'd come? Would you get off doing it?
I think the first one is going to be the most challenging, and then once that goes, then it'll follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as I immerse myself in the experience, I don't think I'll have a problem coming.
Oh, and then the waterfall starts.
It may be kind of habitual, and that's the other thing. Like, how do I just come anytime I want, or do we have to set the scene to kind of, all right, now do this position, and when you can come. Like, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Depends on your director, I guess.
Yeah.
I won't be there. I can't tell you.
I don't know.
Well, I guess this is Slut Actualization. It's, Mallory's impression and her thoughts on her first porno. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm extremely interested in this.
Are you a little aroused?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
That's hot. You're a twisted girl.
Sometimes.
You are. You want to tell everybody how to find us? We'll come back in a minute with a couple of pieces of new information on a couple of new toys that just showed up here in the Casual Swinger Studios in beautiful Orlando, Florida.
All right, we're Casual Swinger everywhere. Find us at casualswinger.com, or you can reach us at podcast@casualswinger.com. Hey, if you love us and want to say something nice, feel free to find us on iTunes and leave a review. You can also find us on social media. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And love us, want to date us. That is Double Date Nation, SLS, SDC, Cassidy, and Quiver.
That'll do it. We'll be back just after this. You've been listening to Casual Swinger.
And we're back.
They are back, and we're going to talk Toy Box, which is something that we've talked about more, obviously, since we started the Toy Story. It's always been called Mallory's Toy Box, but today it's our Toy Box.
Yeah, I mean, guys need equal opportunity, right?
We do.
Yeah.
And, some of this comes from, we did some work with the Joneses at We Got a Thing for their guys group.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so great just being a part of that experience and talking to the guys and talking about male sex toys and just having an open conversation.
Which I'm so glad you guys are doing.
Well, it was an honor to be invited. They have such a great community at We Got a Thing. And it was really cool of them to invite me and let me talk guy sex toys. But the toy that we're going to talk about today on the guy side is not something we talked about when we did that thing.
No,
We Got a Thing.
It's actually really interesting. So you have it in your hand right now. What is that called?
This is called the Ion, and it's by Arcwave. So Arcwave is a WowTech company, and WowTech has brought us, hits like Womanizer and the Wii Vibe, which, they make a lot of what we call pressure toys. So Some people call them suction toys. That is a misnomer. These are pressure air technologies. Matter of fact, the trademark term for it is pleasure air. And the pleasure air technology is very similar to the technology that's in the Womanizer. This is a stroker that you pull over your penis, and it's called silencer technology. So what happens is it doesn't make any noise until you put something in it.
Okay, so like my Womanizer Premium, like when I put pressure on it, that's when even if it's on, it doesn't start vibrating or doing its thing until it touches my skin and I put pressure on it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the whole idea of the Arcwave is basically to give a male an orgasm that's very similar to a female orgasm. And it's done by sending seismic shock waves through your penis, basically. So
Interesting.
it stimulates different nerves entirely than a traditional stroker.
I was going to say, because the stroker is based on friction and pressure of itself in a either twist up and down kind of motion.
Exactly.
So this is way different.
Yep. And this is entirely designed to stimulate the nerves in your frenulum, which is the underside of your dick, just under the head.
Look at you getting all like medical and technical over there.
Yeah, right? And I think the thing that really stood out to me about this toy when I first took it out of the box, first of all, the box was super high-end. It was like opening an Apple product.
I love that about WildTech. They do a great job, not just with boxing, but like with just the quality in general.
Yeah, well, I felt like I was about to have a premium experience when I opened it.
Okay.
Which I really liked. But then when I put my hands on it, I realized that this silicone that this is made of doesn't feel like any silicone I've ever used before.
Really? What's different about it?
Soft and stretchy, but still provides resistance. So
I was going to say, it feels like it's, I don't want to call it stiffer because it does have flexibility in there, which you need if you're going to, squeeze it over your cock.
Sure. But it definitely felt good. I mean, it's just like it's a regular stroker if you want it to be. You can jerk off with it.
Now, what I like about that, this is kind of something we've noticed with other toys we've used for you, because you're a little bit longer. That thing's open-ended.
It is, and that's helpful.
Yeah, so that you can put, you can place it as far down as the base of your penis if you want to.
Yeah, and well, another thing that I like about it, the sides are a firmer silicone, and the top is a stretchier silicone, which means for guys that are a little bit thicker like I am, I can actually fit inside it.
Oh, so that's where the give. So the
give is up here, yeah.
So it's two different maybe compounds.
Yes,
I guess, so that it stretches at that top part versus at the sides.
It
so
does.
The sides still give you pressure as well as the bottom.
And
interesting.
While I only played with it for a minute, it definitely has a really unique sensation, and it's kind of meant to just kind of put it on and hold it there. To really get the maximum benefit out of it. But you can masturbate with it. It's really, really easy to clean too, and I really like this. So
it's two pieces.
It's two pieces. The silicone part that you put your penis in pops off, and you can wash it, you can throw it in the dishwasher, whatever you want to do with it. It's very safe and very hygienic in that regard, and all of the electrical bits stay away from the water, and they're over here.
Interesting.
So it is not a waterproof toy, but it is a really unique design. It is called the Arcwave by Ion. We do carry it on Casual Toys. I do think this is a recommend. I think that for people that have a very sensitive frenulum area, they are going to love this toy.
Now, where's the frenulum? Because I want to be friends with it.
It's under the head of the penis.
Okay.
So that's the area that you like licking. So
yes, it's when I give it advice on giving you a blowjob, I'm like, this is where he's most sensitive.
Yeah.
And it's that like 1.5 inch by 1 inch patch under the tip of your dick on the bottom side.
Exactly where this sits.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
That's really fucking neat. And it does look like you said a premium toy.
Yeah, it is a very premium toy. But speaking of premium toys, you have a premium piece of metal in your hand.
Do.
What do you have?
So I have the Doxy one. This is the R3.
3R.
3R. Okay, I'm dyslexic. My apologies. And we've been seeing a lot of good reviews and feedback on it. This is made in the UK.
Yes.
And we do carry it on our store, and this is the rechargeable version. So it's got the little port on the bottom, USB charger, so it's pretty easy. I think it came with a charge. I did charge it for a little bit, but I used it 2-3 times yesterday.
Yeah.
And it did a great job. Like you said, the packaging was really nice. It's about, I don't know, maybe just a little more than half the size of my Hitachi Magic Wand.
Yes.
So it's not, I wouldn't call it compact or mini. It's probably closer to a standard size, but not as large. So what's cool about this is it's got 9,000 RPMs that the motor provides as far as the stimulation. So it's actually stronger than my Hitachi Magic Wand, which plugs into the wall. I don't have the rechargeable version of that one. And when it came in the packaging, it was this like badass aluminum silver tube that looked futuristic. I was like, holy shit. So the bottom like unscrewed, and that's where the cable and cord was. And then you unscrew the top, and then the wand slides out. So this one's in matte black. They do have another version that's like an aluminum.
Yeah, they have a blue and a red and a few
Okay.
others, but the matte black was kind of a special edition.
Yes. So so a couple of things. So the head, it's like a high quality silicone, but it's not. It's pretty stiff, which I actually like. If you look at my wand collection, and the ones I use most frequently tend to have a stiffer head.
Mm-hmm.
The neck is actually pretty stiff too, which I also like because if they're too loose, they give too much bend,
Mm-hmm.
and then you lose control over where you're applying pressure, right? And if you're applying light pressure, the silicone, even though it's stiff, it's got a very, very soft feel if I were to rub my finger over it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm just doing some teasing motions down there, it doesn't feel abrasive, and I don't have to put a lot of pressure on there in order to feel it. So it's really, really great. I wouldn't call it a quiet toy per se. It's not silent, but it's not, my magic wand probably makes more noise than this.
No kidding.
In fact, I know. So I'm going to turn it on, and it starts. This one's a little different. It starts at like medium instead of low or high.
Okay.
Because some of my toys, I have to remind myself, will start on high. So don't like turn it on and then put it on my pussy.
Yeah, because that would just make your
quite a
eyeballs shoot
shock.
out.
So, and it's just like a light pressure
Oh,
to
yeah.
turn it on, but you can hear that the motors. Yeah, it's actually really, really cool. And what I love, it's only 3 buttons: plus, minus, and power.
Mm-hmm.
So the power, it's a very, very light touch to it to turn it on and off or to change the settings.
It seems to me that it's quieter than your Hitachi.
Oh yeah, I definitely think it's quieter than my Hitachi.
Despite being more
I
powerful.
was gonna turn it on before we started recording to confirm, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's definitely quieter
And it's
than my
about
Hitachi.
half the size, it looks.
It is. So again, I wouldn't call it necessarily compact, but it's definitely more ergonomical, right? Because it doesn't have that long stretch of the body where the motor is compared to where the head of it is. So it's a lot easier to use. I think we could probably use this and play together, which after talking dirty to you earlier, that's on the docket. But the only thing that I found a little bit different is I could definitely feel the vibration in my hand when I used it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little bit different. A lot of my other toys, I guess maybe it's because the motor's so strong and where it's located in the toy.
It's also a fully metal toy.
It is. It's fully metal.
So it makes it a
So
little
I
heavier.
can't break this.
Yeah, it weighs 1.4 pounds, so it's a little heavier. It's not for the faint of heart, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a little weighty.
And it's expensive. This is a premium toy. So our cost on this one is $209 on the store. And
That's about what the womanizer costs. Yeah.
yeah, well, the Arcwave is $199. So what we talked about here today are two, very premium toys.
They are.
But what are your thoughts on it? Do you like it?
I do. I'm getting used to it because the motor is so strong. The vibration and the sensation that I get is a little bit different, right? Because it's moving faster, and that faster movement, my strongest one so far has been the Lilo wand and the Hitachi, and the Lilo again doesn't spin as fast as this one, but I actually really like it. I'm a medium to high girl when I'm masturbating with these wands. This one's probably low. Like I didn't get past medium yesterday. Yeah.
It's just got so if you're a horsepower girl, this is the wand for you.
And I tried it both. I had panties on, so I tried it under my underwear because this was quick and dirty. I just wanted to test it out. And then over my underwear, because sometimes having that additional layer, even though it's thin, kind of separates and disperses out some of the sensation. And I'm a dirty horse. Sometimes I like to masturbate with my clothes on.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, that's the high massager thing too, right? The high massager was a clothes on.
Yes, exactly.
So, well, there you go. So 2 new toys that are in Casual Toys right now. One's for the guys. It's called the Arcwave Ion, and that Ion is for sale and available for purchase right now on casualtoys.com, and the Doxy 3R and the 3 Matte Black. Now, both of those are rechargeable wands.
Yes.
That's what the R signifies, is that it's rechargeable. So last question for you, Mallory, before we get the hell out of here. Does rechargeable hurt that thing at all? I mean, is it as powerful as everything else despite being rechargeable?
It is literally the most powerful toy I have, period.
There you
Yeah.
Well, minus the Motorbunny. Motorbunny.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Don't kick that motherfucker up to 11 unless you're prepared.
Yeah,
that's
right.
for experts only.
Hold the fuck on.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Well, this has been an episode on Slut Actualization. We threw some sex toys in at the end. We're going to miss all of our friends if anybody's going in February at Rachel's Rascals, but make sure to get back to us if you're interested in going in November. That's going to be one hell of a party after the year we had in 2020. And its cousin, 2021, is shaping up to be a shit show, too.
No, don't say that. Let's think positive.
We'll just think positive. Mallory, you want to say bye to everybody?
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
All right. You've been listening to Casual Swinger.